Hello, I'm Matt Cooke with the latest headlines from BBC News. David Cameron and Barack Obama have spoken about the massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. There have been complaints of anti-British rhetoric in the US. According to Downing Street, the US president said his criticisms of BP were nothing to do with national identity, and he had no interest in undermining the company's financial value. England are playing their first match of the World Cup in South Africa this evening, taking on the United States in Rustenburg. Here in Britain, up to 15 million people were expected to watch the match on television. The arbitration service, ACAS, has put forward new proposals in an attempt to end the 8-month-old dispute between British Airways and its cabin crew. The head of the Unite union, Tony Woodley, said he'd be pleasantly surprised if it led to a resolution. Rescuers are continuing to search for victims of flash floods which hit a remote campsite in Arkansas in the United States. At least 16 people have died, but it's unclear how many more could be missing, as records of those staying in the area were washed away.
We had to climb about 40 feet in the tree to save our own lives. We were just clinging on to dear life.
It's probably the scariest thing I've ever been in my life. We lost everything, all our tents, grills. We were lucky to get out with our lives.
The Kremlin has rejected a call by the Central Asian state of Kyrgyzstan to send Russian troops to help quell the ethnic violence. More than 60 people have been killed and hundreds injured. The Russian president's spokeswoman said Moscow would offer humanitarian assistance. The restaurant critic and writer EGON RONAY has died after a short illness. He was 94. EGON RONAY wrote his first guidebook in 1956 and continued for 3 decades, transforming British eating habits and becoming a household name. The Queen has marked her official birthday with the annual Trooping the Colour ceremony on Horse Guards Parade in Whitehall. Thousands watched the soldiers, some of whom returned from Afghanistan only weeks ago. Well, those were the latest headlines. You can get more on all those stories and the rest of the day's news at bbc.co.uk/news.